Today we're going to talk about 6 knives, many of them from different brands, and these are some of the best deals on knives you can find right now on Amazon. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get started. These knives are cheaper than I've ever seen them. There's a couple in particular that are way outside of the normal, and the first one is this. This is made by Real Steel. It's called the H6 Plus. It is in 14C28N. It's about 3¼ inches of blade, so it's a big boy. It's a steel frame lock with a secondary lock to kind of keep it from collapsing. This is kind of insane for the price point that it was at, which was just, and I mean just over 30 bucks. $30 for this knife, which used to be like around $60, is kind of insane. Maybe they're discontinuing it. I don't know. All I know is that that is really, really good. One of the best deals I've ever seen from Real Steel, and you're probably not going to miss out. I think I saw there was like 13 or 14 of these left last time I looked. But yeah, definitely don't miss out on that. Okay, let's move on to the God tier knives. And when I say God tier, there's one knife brand that comes into mind when I think of budget knives and using that statement. That is Migron. So Migron, yeah, they just give you the single best, highest value knives that you can buy right now. Almost all of them are under $60. Most of them have a milled titanium pocket clip. Most of them use 14C28N, one of the best budget steels. This one has a crown spine. The fit and finish is phenomenal. The Contour G10 with the brass pivot collar. I mean, it's just, look at this thing. What a looker. So I think they've also stealth upgraded it since I reviewed this the last time. They had what I thought was a full flat grind, or a flat grind, not a full flat, but a flat grind, and now it's a hollow grind, which makes this thing even slicier than it was before. The action is, well, it's phenomenal. But I love the way this front flipper is done. This is probably the best front flipper I've ever used. It's grippy in the middle in that all the edges are sharp, but because of the crown spine, it's actually not sharp on the very, very corners. So it doesn't hook onto things unless you really want it to. And yes, you can reach over and do that as well. You can do this and it will flip. But it is a front flipper only. But the crazy thing about this knife is that this knife with the $5 off coupon is only $40. So $40 for a knife that in many ways is better than most $60 knives. I can't say enough. This is definitely one to check out. It's a big knife, 3 3/4 inch blade length. So it's not small by any measure, but it carries really small because of the profile. It has a very, very slim, very elegant profile. I cannot say enough about this knife. And frankly, just Migron in general. In fact, I pulled out the others that I own just to kind of make this point. This Moyarl is just under 50 bucks. Once again, milled titanium pocket clip. I love this knife. This is actually in my rotation on a regular basis. You have the Pagos right here. Man, the action on this is also kind of insane. This is basically a budget version of their all titanium knife. Once again, coming in under 50 bucks with 14C28. Truly insane. The Verona, I forget which one it is. This is 4 1/4 inches of blade, 14C, just over 50 bucks. And I think the new one actually has a full forward finger choil, which I haven't decided which I like better or not. This company continues to upgrade, and yeah, their knives are truly God tier. Not much more I can say. But for 40 bucks, I knew I finally was the right time to pick one of these up and get it in my collection because, yeah, this is such a good example of a ideal $40 knife. This would be the top tier. I mean, it doesn't get any better. Okay, sorry about that. So let me finish up with this whole setup. The next one we're going to talk about is a knife that's been reviewed ad nauseum. This is the Feldspar from CJRB, but the large Feldspar in this finish, the natural G10, This one was actually only 30 bucks, $28. So I didn't have any in my collection. It's a very safe, very, very familiar blade shape, very, very comfortable handle. It does have a reversible pocket clip, which I do like. Once again, a nice little accent with the brass pivot collar. Great, great addition. So sub $30 once again. Insane. Now, the next ones are companies that I've not actually dealt with before, so I'm going to put these aside for the time being. Let me get these out of the way. And I think they really are something to keep an eye on, these companies for sure. So the first one that we want to talk about, and I'm not even sure how to pronounce it, XTOUC, I don't know, XTOUC, but there's two knives that I picked up that I was really interested in. This one is the one that appeals to me the most from a comfort and a visual standpoint. The Frag G10, I love this texture because it is so insanely grippy, especially if they start it kind of in the middle where the edges are still nice and rounded. So you get the grip without having it dig into your hands or in the palm of your hand. So it's a very, very nice design. D2 on this knife, which isn't my favorite thing in the world, but the way they have finished it is just very, very, very nice. It's not as drop shut as I thought it would be. There's just a little bit more tension than you might expect, but the front flipper works phenomenally. So does the back flipper. The handle is great, and check out the way they've done this pocket clip. It tucks in under the scales, right? And there's actually a spacer there to kind of hold the other space, which is kind of a nice little touch. And this thing comes in with the coupon under 30 bucks. So really, really impressive. I want to say though, if this company ever watches this video, can you please make this exact knife just in the 14C28N? And I'll pay an extra 10 for it. It's just that nice. I really, really, really like the way this feels. The jimping is excellent. It just kind of puts your hand in the right position. I don't feel like this knife would ever come out of my hands. And I really do like that texture. Really good for 30. And then this knife, which a number of other reviewers have talked about, is something that I wanted to test as well. So 14C28, and with the 15% off coupon, brings it below $40 with a decent clip, flipper tab, and thumb stud with a button lock. So pretty awesome combination. Very, very comfortable handle on this one. Value prospect, I mean, this is really, really up there as some of the highest value knives you can find with 14C. Yeah. The only thing I'm going to say is the button seems to be good. The thumb stud deployment works great. The reverse flick works great. But for some reason, it feels a little bit light on the resistance when it comes to the flipper tab. So you're going to have to just be more determined when you flip it. Like, because you can, I mean, it's not bad when you push button the thing, but if you try to light switch it too slow, yeah, it won't fully deploy. It's still pretty good. I'm very much a snob. So realistically, a lot of people are just going to love that, and it's going to be a great choice. So 40 bucks, $30, $30, $30, $40. I mean, these are amazingly good value knives. And then the last one on the list is something I'm very excited about because this comes in at $26. And check out what steel we have here, K110. So you might think K110 and D2, oh, it's the same thing. It's not, trust me. The Bowler K110 performance was so much better than any other D2 I've tested. The only thing that is comparable is the CPM D2, which is a powder metallurgy version by Crucible. And that's a much more expensive blade steel. No, the quality of the steel that's being used here is quite a bit better than generic D2, especially because we don't always know what's happening with where those things are located. This is a really, really great package for $26. And they actually did a really good job on the grind here. There's a proper sharpening choil. It's a little bit thick down there now that I'm looking at it, but it's definitely going to work. Now, this is the second knife that I have found under 30. Hold on one second. Let me go get the other one. So as I said, this is the second knife under 30 with K110 that really caught my eye. The first one, of course, I've talked about it a number of times, is the Sitivien ST152. This might be my favorite sub $30 knife. The ergonomics are incredible. I actually prefer the flipper tab slightly to this one, but it's nice that there's another option for people who want either a different design or a different kind of, setup. You can see this is a full flat grind, where this is like not quite full, it's like 3/4. And so it gives some more variety for people to get access that really, really like this steel. And I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of D2 in general. And if I do get D2, I want to make sure that it's from a brand that I know has already been tested and that the steel is good quality and the heat treatment is good. But knowing that it's K110 will really help me in feeling confident that it's at least a good steel. Doesn't guarantee that they've done a good heat treatment. But the thing is, I've already seen Freetiger knives tested and reviewed, and it was very, very positive. The same thing goes with some of these Sitiviens, including this one. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about recommending either one. So, value town, that's where we're at right now. We're in huge value town with all of these knives. I will put a link to all of them down in the description in the pinned comment. I should also answer one other thing. How do I carry all these knives? I really don't. I'll be honest, because there's just too many. What I do, however, is make sure that I change out knives regularly. And when I say regularly, most people don't switch out the knife in their pocket 3 times a day. I do, because I'm always trying to familiarize myself with the way things feel, different materials, different blade grinds, how they are used, and I, on average, will use them instead of dedicated implements like chef's knives to get a feel for how they cut. And so I'm very dedicated to trying all these things. And so when I find good value knives that I know present all the right combinations, I want people to know about it. And these are some pretty insane deals. I don't think there's anything on the table over 50 bucks. That's pretty good. Whoops, I forgot one. So there you go. And then all of these others from Migron, I'm going to link them as well. It's worth it. If you've never held one of these, they will literally change the way you evaluate knives from then on. They're just so over the top. And there's just so many good examples, like the Pagos, the Moyarl, and Akri, the Verona. These are some really insane knives. They just are so ridiculous. And honestly, seeing more 14C28, more K110, that's good. I would rate K110 and 14C in the absolute top tier of budget steels, along with ARRPM 9, Nitro V. And then I guess on the very edge of that might be AUS 10, maybe, if it's treated well. It's kind of hard to say how that all works out. I'm still not sure about that steel, but those for sure are absolutely top tier, and we're starting to see that show up a lot more, so that's great. That's it. I'm going to let you go today. I hope you get a chance to take a look at these sales before they're gone. I'm pretty sure the real steel one will be gone really soon. I think you'll be pretty safe waiting on the Migrons, because they tend to be always really well priced. But yeah, here we are. Just another video talking about awesome budget knives, and man, we are living in the golden age of budget knives. So many good brands, so many good executions. Yeah, what more can I say? Check them out. All right, thanks again for your time, guys, and we'll talk again soon.